I love New York. Oh, look, it's selfie mode with the bull. I would do that though, so who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I am that guy. Except cooler-ish. I love LA. Hey everyone, welcome back to a video. Video killed the radio star. Do you know that song? So today's video, I'm going to be talking about where I live, New York, versus where I will live, LA. Which is better, New York or LA? And I will have an answer. I've lived in New York my entire life. I've only been to La La Land twice. The first time 2 summers ago, and then last summer I was there. And I gotta say, I loved it. I enjoyed it. Different than what I had pictured. But do you ever realize that that's life? Everything you've imagined or pictured about anything not always matches up. Usually doesn't match up, let's be honest, because what happens in here is like always gonna be gold versus real life. I love New York right off the bat. It's an amazing city. The buildings, the photography you can take, the video captures, the classic Empire State Building. Times Square is crazy, but it's there. But also, the other boroughs, Brooklyn and Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, I haven't been to as much, to be honest, but take the ferry, there's lots to do. Long Island, right there, suburbs, Long Island, not too far from Jersey and AC and other museums and in Connecticut. So there's a lot of different things around, but there's so many people, like so many people. Not just foot traffic, but there's car traffic from Long Island to Queens to Brooklyn, even in Manhattan. And even if you don't drive, if you're in an Uber or a taxi, you could be sitting in traffic. It could take you, and the classic thing you'll see is land at LaGuardia or JFK, and your flight could be 1 to 3 hours, and then you'd be sitting in traffic for that long, and you just went hundreds of miles, maybe thousands of miles in the air, and then to go like 5 miles, 3 miles, it takes the same amount of time, and you're like, it's crazy. LA, on the other hand, the traffic is worse in terms of overall traffic, but only during the day hours. New York, occasionally LA, but New York usually has traffic. You could find traffic at 12 a.m. In LA, once 12 a.m. hits, the roads are empty unless there's some kind of event in some area. But for the most part, when I was there, I drove from Venice Beach to East LA and back with no problem. You're like, what? Why'd you go to East LA? Just say that it was like literally no traffic. I was the only car on the road going from Venice to East LA. Can you imagine? I was in shock. In New York, there might be little traffic to go from, say, that would be like going from, I don't know, Midtown to Astoria or Midtown to Nassau County. The same kind of distance, I think. Maybe not. I'm not a Google GPS. New York has a lot of opportunity, but it's also very competitive. And LA is as well. A lot of things for New York and LA are similar. They're both expensive. They're both a little polluted. They're both, distance things. You have to travel distances. If you're an actor, obviously both places are great. You can do theater in both places, although New York obviously has more. You can do TV and film in both places, and LA obviously has more, although New York is up and coming. So yay, yay. But creators and collaborators, I feel like there's more the YouTubers in LA than there are in New York. And even people like Casey Neistat moving to LA, and a lot of people are just moving to LA. As I drink, let me take a drink of Darth Vader coffee. Started like with rain. Had the coffee in the rain, now coffee in the sun. And New York is iconic, has a lot of iconic places. LA is iconic, has the Hollywood sign, has a record, Rodeo Drive. From my little experience in LA, it's hard to say for sure. But it almost feels like the people in LA, they say the people in LA are nice to your face and fake like talk about you behind your back. Although I feel like everywhere people will talk about you in some regard. People in LA seem much nicer, to me anyway, than they do in New York. I feel like it seems like it should be the opposite. It feels like LA should be like snobby and snooty and judgmental, and I'm not saying it's not, but from my experience, New York feels a lot more like that than LA. New York is like, oh, we are so cool and intellectual, and we have X and we have Y, and what do you have? And what have you done for me lately? Obviously, LA has In-N-Out, so right away, LA. I love Shake Shack, don't get me wrong, although LA has 2 Shake Shacks now. But In-N-Out has my heart, even though I feel like the fries are not good. The animal style is good on top of the fries, and I just eat it all off the fries. And then the actual burger is good, although I feel like probably not as good as a Shake Shack or other places. There's a bunch of burger places and taco places. Oh, that are so good. New York has great food too, don't get me wrong. I found that they're both expensive. New York, I feel like I would go through more money in New York overall. I like that it's warm year-round in LA. Maybe I would miss the season, can do without the cold. But if I could be near the beach and I could, do a walk, run along the beach every day or every other day or whatever, year-round, that would be so freaking amazing. New York has beaches, but you can only use them in the summer, and they are so crowded because it's only open in the summer. And then the Hamptons, and Montauk is pretty, and I was there in the winter only, and it's pretty, it's nice, but it's not exactly, LA. People might hang out in Brooklyn or Queens, but people aren't like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to Queens. Now people are saying I can't wait to go to places in Brooklyn a little bit more, but for the most part, people want to go to Manhattan. 99% of people are like still Manhattan, Manhattan, Manhattan. Now, I was saying it earlier, that's the big thing, Manhattan. What is the Manhattan of LA? People are like, I'd love to go hang out in Santa Monica or Venice. I'd love to go hang out at this beach, Manhattan Beach, or I'd love to go to Hollywood or Beverly Hills. We'll hang out there, or we'll go downtown LA, or we'll go to even Koreatown. And correct me if I'm wrong, I could be totally wrong. There could be people that are like, I hate LA, I lived here my whole life. But then when I was in LA, there people were like, why would you drive? It's so far. Why would you go to Magic Mountain? It's 90 degrees, it's so hot. I lived in LA my whole life. I work in Santa Monica. I've never been to Malibu. I've never been to, Laguna Beach or Manhattan Beach, or I've never been to Anaheim. I'm just like, they're not that far away. And these are people in their 20s. I'm like, I don't understand that. It's weird to me. Here I am going everywhere. People probably just don't walk in LA. That seems to be a big deal. Like, oh, we don't walk. I mean, all right, I get not walking far, but there's walking. So I love New York. New York will always be my home, my hometown. I might not always live here, but I'd love to live on both coasts, but we're not there yet. Subscribe. Make sure to subscribe so I can one day live on both coasts, and make films on both coasts. It's always fascinating to me to see someone like a Busy Phillips or anybody, an actor, just literally, and even Jason Biggs, they'll fly from New York to LA to New York to LA to New York to LA, back, forth, like it's no big deal. It's 6 hours each time, and it's a 3-hour time jump. So I guess I don't know if you ever get used to that, but that's kind of fascinating. And you wonder, like, how people do it. They just do it. And then the whole Sunset Boulevard, I guess that's Hollywood, the comedy clubs. It's so, LA is big in some sense as far as it's spread out, but the actual like neighborhoods, like just Venice itself or Santa Monica. I mean, I guess if you don't just take in the beach, you take like all the houses behind the beach and stuff, but the beach itself doesn't feel gigantic. Sunset Boulevard right there with Comedy Store and Laugh Factory, that like strip. It's almost like Vegas has that like strip, right? It's that one big street, and you think that's the neighborhood. That's it. There's houses on other streets, and you have to make weird turns and whatever. But honestly, it just feels a little bit more homely. It's like I'm in this big city that doesn't feel like a big city. In New York or in Manhattan, you can't be on a street like that and feel like, oh yeah, this is like a tiny, because the buildings are so, I think it's the buildings. In Manhattan, even Brooklyn, the buildings are so big and tall. And in LA, they're not big at all. Records buildings, a couple of buildings, but for the most part, and downtown has that vibe. But besides downtown, which I don't know how much time I would even spend downtown. Like, it's all right. I didn't like downtown LA. I don't know. It's like, okay, there's a bunch of places to eat maybe, and I think the train station, some donut places, some good eats. There's some cool clubs down there. But for the most part, it just doesn't seem like my overall hangout spot. Like, I'm gonna go to DTLA. Like I would like the Village in New York. You want to hang out, you go East Village, West Village probably down there. The comedy clubs, although it has a very college NYU vibe to it over in New York, but just barely, because I love the beach. I love the sun. And as much as I've lived here in New York and loved it, and I've always defended New York over LA for the longest time, but I think I've come to a place in my life where it just seems like both times I went to LA, everyone was so warm and nice to me. And here in New York, I don't get that. I feel like people are just, ugh. And actually, they don't like it when you're nice or friendly or smiling or happy. And it's weird. Like, why does it matter? Why do you want? Why? Because you're not happy?
This is the kind of face you want when you're watching YouTube from the person you're watching. Sweaty goodness. Cheers. Wanted to give a shout out to all the new people that are here, new rap stars. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting and being part of this journey. Yeah! And I do love New York. I love New York. I freaking love it. Okay? Just put LA a little drop higher. Maybe a change will do you good.
This is your time to subscribe while I drink this cup of coffee. Oh, I'm from New York.
The video and you're like, oh yeah, I like the vibe of that video.